is enough said.
Happy Saturday, Heat Nation. Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Hope everybody's having a beautiful day so far. Would really appreciate y'all if you would like the video, subscribe to the channel. We got a lot to talk about today, so let's get it ready to rock and roll on another Miami Heat Talk adventure. Last night was a great night, you guys. Your boy was in attendance at the Miami Heat game. I'm going to have a lot of videos, a lot of shorts for you on the game. Got some great stuff last night. Thank you again to Team to Beat, my dog. Heat win 125-103, blow out the Toronto Raptors. And look, guys, not surprised. This was a win that the Miami Heat needed to get. We know that Toronto's looking to lose these last two games. They need to get the bottom six to get the first round draft pick. So these are gimme games for the Miami Heat. But even though it was a gimme game, we saw a lot of great stuff from certain players. Being that we're getting ready for the playoffs, being that there's one game left in the season, I am loving what Nikola Jovic is doing lately, guys. Because the last 3 games, he's been dropping oodles of points. 18 points 2 games ago, 23 points the last game. Last night, he gives you 22 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, 9 for 18 for the field, 4 for 10 from the three-point line. Nikola Jovic is my player of the game. He's been the player of the game the last 3 games. I think Nikola Jovic has solidified himself as the starting power forward moving into the playoffs. He's gotten confidence. He's gotten the experience during the season. We don't know what's going to happen in the playoffs. We need some size. We know Nico brings it. So I'm loving Nico as the starting power forward. You get 19 points from Bam Adebayo. You get 17 from Tyler Hero. 14 from Jimmy Butler. Guys, I was watching Jimmy Butler in person last night. 14 points, 7 assists. Jimmy looks like he's just getting ready for the playoffs. Jimmy's not really going bubonic right now. I think Jimmy's waiting for the playoffs because if you look at him out there, he looks fresh. He had a steal. He had a steal the other night, and I saw Jimmy move so quick. I'm like, okay. I think he's gearing up for the playoffs. So that's something to be positive about, Heat fans. And one thing that we're seeing is that this team is ramping up towards health. I know Rozier, I know Robinson didn't play last night. I think that's just precautions. I don't think you're going to see Rozier, Duncan play for the remainder of the season. You got to rest them up for the playoffs. Especially if you want to play in the if you're going to play in the play-in, you got to rest them up. You get 14 points from K-Love. I think I mentioned that, but if I didn't, there you go. Another impressive night by a guy by the name of Jaime Jaquez. Every time Jaime Jaquez was coming out, he was getting the love and the vibe from the fans. So that was pretty dope. Seeing Jaime get 20 points, 9 assists, 4 rebounds. Jimmy and Jaime were looking good out there together. I think that's something you're going to see in the playoffs. I'm not a fan of Jaime Jaquez losing playing time in the playoffs. I think he's going to give you something different. He does exactly what Jimmy Butler does off the bench. You're going to need a guy like that, especially with Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin doesn't really do great, gives you 3 points, 1 for 3 for shooting. His job was primarily on the defensive end. Now, why did I mention earlier that the Miami Heat, or excuse me, why did I use the word if the Miami Heat would play in the play-in? That's because, ladies and gentlemen, with certain things that have happened, with the Miami Heat defeating Toronto, with Orlando losing to Philadelphia, with Indiana losing to their last game. Check out these brackets, ladies and gentlemen. Orlando, Philadelphia, and Indiana have all tied for the 5th seed. They all have a record of 46 and 35, tying them. The Miami Heat with last night's win are 45 and 36. I mean, man, had you just win 2 more of these games that you should have won, you would be in the 4th or 5th seed. But hey, can't cry over spilled milk, can't change the past. You can only look forward and look at the present. And what's the present right now? The Miami Heat are only a game down from the 5th seed. The Miami Heat, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I posted a video yesterday saying should we rest our players for the remainder of the season because we're going to be locked in as a playing team. But some of my subscribers in the comments filled me in and said, nah, Ernest, nah. We ain't done. Because the Miami Heat still have a shot to get out of the play-in. See, I thought that certain tiebreakers lean on certain teams, but apparently, and which is I looked up and true, the Miami Heat hold tiebreakers to certain teams against Orlando and Philadelphia. So here's what we need. We need Orlando to lose their last game, which is possible. We need Indiana to lose their last game, which is possible. But we also need Philadelphia to lose their game against the Brooklyn Nets. That's going to be highly unlikely, y'all. Philadelphia's on a roll. They've won the last 7 games. So there's a chance that the Miami Heat can get out of the play-in. We just need other teams to lose their way in. So that's really what we're going to be looking at, you guys. Sunday's going to be a big game. I don't know if guys like Jimmy and Bam will play. You know, it's really depending on these other teams. But look for the Miami Heat to go all in. You got to get this dub. You just got to win. You got to win just to put yourself in the position. Because not only can you get out of the play-in, but then also you maybe want to get that 7th seed so you can have home court advantage in the play-in. Even though I mentioned in my recent video that the Miami Heat have a better record on the road this year than at home, we do have a winning record both home and away. So I think in the play-in situation, just like last year when you're at home, it gives you that much more confidence maybe. That's just what I feel. I don't know. But being the fact that the Miami Heat do have a shot at the 6th seed, ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you people, and let me know in the comments, do you think the Heat have a realistic opportunity to get to the 6th seed? Or do you think this is just a setup for another heartbreaker like we've experienced all year? Because let's be honest, this whole season, and even last year during the season as well, not in the playoffs, during the regular season, every time that the Miami Heat have an opportunity to put themselves out of the play-in situation, they fail. So Heat fans, I want to hear from you, man. I mean, are you guys hopeful? Are you done? Are you already set with us being a play-in team? Let me know what you think. Let me know, do you think we should rest certain guys the last game of the season? Do you think we should play them? I mean, you're playing guys, you're risking an injury possibly, maybe resting them a few days, getting them ready for the play-in because we know what we have coming forward with. Now, I'm going to tell y'all people, I've seen people in the comments saying that it's over, saying that the season is done, saying that the Miami Heat should just lose their way out of the playoffs. I'm going to remind y'all, these are the same people that said the same thing last season about the Miami Heat. And what the hell happened? The Miami Heat had a Cinderella run. And for those people that say lightning won't strike twice, lightning can't strike twice at the same place, that's not necessarily true. Because the Miami Heat actually can do it again, ladies and gentlemen, whether they're in play-in team or not. It's not like there's a huge difference from these seedings. From seeds 2 to 8, there's only a 4.5 game difference, 5 game difference, excuse me. Not a big deal. Milwaukee does not want this smoke in the first round. It looks like Milwaukee is going to get the 2nd seed. I don't think Milwaukee wants to see Miami in round 1. I mean, you're going to have nightmares from last year, but let's be real, y'all. Milwaukee is not the same defensive team ever since they lost Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday, who got his ass busted against Jimmy Butler in the playoffs. I mean, he got his ass busted, whatever, but you've seen what Jrue Holiday does for Boston this year. He's one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. Milwaukee lost that. Yes, they got Damian Lillard, but their defense is trash. Tyler Hero and Terry Rozier can have a field day against their backcourt. Duncan Robinson can hit his shots. Jimmy Butler's going to play out of his mind. Excuse me one second, guys. Got interrupted. My apologies. Anyways, so right there, ladies and gentlemen, tells me that the Miami Heat have a shot against anyone in the Eastern Conference. You give me Milwaukee, you give me New York, you give me Cleveland, you give me Orlando, you give me Philly, you give me Indiana. I don't care. I like our odds against any team in the Eastern Conference. So Heat fans, I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think in the comments. You confident with our roster going forward, or do you think we're going to get a first round exit? Don't forget to like the video, you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. My apologies about that phone call. Forgot to put it on silent, but hey, it is what it is. Appreciate y'all. Enjoy your Saturday. Much love, and that is enough said. Stay positive, Heat fans.